My dream? To become Formula One world champion. My everyday goal? Staying focused, staying calm. Watch the road unfolding in slow motion. Never close my eyes. Take risks. Always keep control. And attack. Attack whenever I can. When the final line has passed, never regret. My destination? The future.
This year I'm in a really good team. I have a strong teammate as well, so we work really well together, so we can improve the car. Then it's up to me. I think I have everything in my hands, so let's push for it.
Welcome to Motorland here in Spain, the opening round of the World Series by Renault. 26 drivers keen to start the new season, but no Daniel Ricciardo. Last year's runner-up and firm favourite for this year's championship. He's busy in Shanghai this weekend as third driver with the Toro Rosso Formula One team. That said, Jean-Eric Vergne, his Red Bull Junior colleague, is here, the new boy at Carlin, looking forward to the challenge. This is what we're dealing with.
For sure, Daniel is a really good driver. He's really fast. Well, I'm sad for him, but not for me. For sure, this weekend it's really tough for me, not doing the free practice. If we would have done the same thing, yeah, this would have been good. But you know, first of all, we are not in the same team, so it's pretty hard to make a comparison as well. So I wish all the best for him to come back, but for sure it's not going to be easy. And but he will do great for sure. Last year he did a really good season, and I'm sure he's going to do an even better job this year.
Each guy has their individual program. They're all very different. They have very different schedules. Daniel is away now in China with the Toro Rosso team, and so his schedule is very different to Jean-Eric, who's here in Spain and is home in Milton Keynes most of the week.
I've known Eric for 2 years. Originally when he came to Carlin to compete in the Formula 3 Championship. Is when I first met him in the Winter Series, doing some testing, and now he's been, managed to win the Formula 3 Championship and promote himself, and has arrived now at Renault 3.5. He's an outstanding driver. You know, he's a very clever kid.
Yeah, I went to Austria to see Helmut Marko. So we had a meeting, and where he told me that I was going to race in World Series by Renault with the Carlin team, so which is pretty good for me. Last year I won the British F1 Championship with them. Now I'm here with the same team in a different championship, in a different car, which is a bit bigger and closer from Formula One.
Disappointing qualifying session for Jean-Eric Vergne. He starts only 15th on the grid this afternoon.
Qualifying was really hard. I mean, fighting against people that were already here yesterday driving for 3 hours. That's not simple, because you're always here as well to set up your car. You never have the same kind of car than your teammate.
To get more performance, Jean-Eric just has to learn how to manage the schedule. The life of a Formula One driver is very busy, and it's about who can manage the schedule the best. So Jean-Eric was in the simulator all night on Thursday night, had to come straight to the race and straight into qualifying and straight into the race. And this is the life of a Formula One driver, and you can't fight it. You just have to see who can succeed within the schedule the best.
Weather conditions near perfect for the start of this season. It's a long road, this championship, and it begins right here. And through the heat haze, the packed grid, final preparations are being completed. Jean-Eric Vergne, he's back on row 8, and if he wants to score points, he knows he's going to have to work very, very hard today.
Jean-Eric has missed all of Friday practice, which is 2.5 hours on track. So he's achieved a great deal with such little running time, which showed obviously within the races, because then he can prove his true potential of speed.
Here we go then, down to business right now. Flagman's happy. The revs rise. And we're underway. Wickens on the defensive, drifting to the left-hand side of the track. Early ambition from Vergne midfield. Coyus up from 5th to 3rd in the first corner. Move, Rossi, Wickens the poleman. Coyus, Costa, Krugmuller. Oh, and a big move from Penchus on Van der Rift here. Big compression of the field. Oh, and behind, look at that. Vergne goes wide, well held. It seems where Vergne is, the action is. He's safely through. Others might be in trouble here. Oh!
Moi, j'ai vu faire des choses en kart à l'époque que j'ai vu personne faire sur la piste. Il est un peu fou, des fois. Il est un peu, oui, il a pas froid aux yeux. Hein. Ça, c'est sûr. Il a le coup de volant. Dans la course, c'est exceptionnel. Il peut partir dernier et gagner une course.
Then in attacking mood, has a look down the inside here. 2 men ahead of him. Can he take the big ambition? There's one and another. 2 in 1 move.
C'est évidemment un garçon qui est capable de partir dernier et de gagner. Et c'est une force. C'est la force pour une équipe d'avoir un pilote comme ça. C'est-à-dire qu'un pilote, tu vois, ils font une erreur, ils partent 14 et il arrive à remonter devant. C'est une force.
Vergne fighting for 6, and what a great race he's had. He's already in the points. Attack-minded from the very start. This is a man showing us he's a championship contender. A real never-say-die attitude on display here.
It's been a long time. I've not been so far on the pre-grid. Yeah, maybe it's been a really good race for overtakings and stuff like this. We had a good race, so in the end finishing P6, starting P15 is quite good. I mean, we score some points, and the important thing as well was to finish the race, and this was like my free practice, not free, but practice for me.
C'est ce qu'il fallait faire aujourd'hui, pas prendre trop de risques et des gros points malgré tout pour le championnat.
Got some points.
What points you down to? 10th. That's alright.
So all right, good drive. Get down. Good overtaking.
Yeah, on Zampieri. And you know, on Zampieri, so he was in the inside, I was overtaking him on the outside. When I saw it was directly like this, I said, for sure I missed the ball. I break on the 50 meters. I will go straight, and finally, no. Because I was watching him when he was braking, then I was braking at tempo. If he was braking 100 meters, I would have been third.
Yeah. Let's drink up, eh? We're going to do it again tomorrow.
He drove very well. You know, he should be proud of himself. He had a lot of work to do, and he managed to achieve, you know, some good results through the hard work.
My objective is to be in the podium in the races because, you know, the team is giving me a really good car, and I have prepared myself to win this championship. If at the end doesn't work, I can do nothing about it. I will just continue preparing myself and continue pushing to for next year, whatever category I will do. But yes, this year I'm really looking forward for the championship.
My life has changed a lot since I'm Red Bull Junior team driver. I didn't know what fitness is. I have no idea about what was it before I came here. Then I started training harder and harder, and now it's one of my passions. You know, training became one thing which I really like to do, and I became a lot fitter since I'm with Red Bull. I became a lot mentally stronger. I know how to have a good nutrition. I know how to handle the pressure. I know, well, I still don't know. It's really good, like some of Formula 1 drivers, but I already learned it a lot, you know.
Here we go then, the first race of the 2-litre season. 34 drivers between 15 and 18 years of age doing battle, all with the same dream of one day racing in Formula 1. Among them, 2 Red Bull Junior team drivers, Carlos Sainz Jr. on the front row and Daniel Kvyat, who leads off row 4.
For me, always to be on top of a car, on top of a formula that you go 250 in the straight and turn left 230. Great feeling for me because I'm doing what I really want, and I'm enjoying myself on top of the car.
Nervous moments then, the season opener. Everyone waiting for the race controller to get us underway. From pole, Will Stevens defending, heads for the wall, and the best line, Sainz safely underway. Oh, carnage here! Taranson, Kvyat, Weimann, others involved as well. Safety car, surely.
Well, I don't have much things to say about this race because it was quite short. As you know, it's long, only 50 meters. Then I had a crash, not on my fault, so it was quite a big crash. I would say the biggest in my life, but it doesn't matter. I try to forget this day, all the negative things, but keep in mind, learn something. Well, I had a very good start. I was passing 6th and I was already thinking about where to go in the first corner. I think it could have been a good race for sure. But when I was already a little bit before braking, I felt a very big hit and then I just spun.
Several drivers are concerned about security problems. I mean, the safety now is really good in all the racing cars. I mean, in single-seaters, from Formula 1 to below, like World Series, Formula 3, GP2, GP3. So I'm not really scared of any accident. I'm more scared in not finishing race and not scoring points than hurting myself.
I was more, I would say, upset because I lost the race, lost good opportunity, got good points for sure, and probably podium.
After 3 or 4 corners, I heard safety car coming in this lap, and I asked more or less what happened. They told me my teammate, well, 2 teammates were involved in the accident. I care about them, and then they told me all the street was full of dust and full of cars, so I was a little bit worried, but at the end these cars are really, really safe. It's really difficult to something happen. You have to have really bad luck, so I concentrate myself, safety car, warm up tires and go.
Safety car gone and we're racing again. Carlos Sainz, he's hunting down second place right now. There's some very high-speed sections to this track. You get some real momentum here. Sainz has got Freins in his view here. This is the battle for second. Oh, and he's got it.
At the beginning of the race, I was always keeping my position because it's quite difficult, safety cars, everything. And then just little by little get the pace and try to get nearer and nearer to the guys in front.
Attack turning to defence for sides here, a young master at work.
I have a try of greens, it worked. Not always it works, so I can be happy. And then after, Will Stevens had a failure in the engine, so this also helped.
Poor Will Stevens, desperate luck for the Brit. Carlos leading the race easily now. He just has to keep the rhythm. Controlling from the front, he's done all the hard work, and he's stretching his advantage. And he's just set the fastest lap. This is great driving.
And yes, in the laps lap, also you have always a little bit of nervous of sometimes watching a little bit too much in the mirrors, but something normal, and I manage the pressure, so we're really, really happy.
His father races against the clock in rallying, don't forget, but Carlos Jr. is the master of the track here. Carlos Sainz Jr. taking a well-deserved victory at Motorland. What a way to open the season. This is a young man at the top of his game at the moment. This could be the start of a truly great campaign.
Great feeling, you know, after I had quite a lot of problems during the previous days and in qualifying also. The team did a great job. They put me a car to win the race, and I just did my job. And I'm really, really happy.
Yeah, tomorrow I think will be a better day. I have some experience now. The car, I feel good in the car, so should be alright for tomorrow. Getting concentrated and thinking about your start, the first lap, making a lap in your mind. I try to put everything away from my mind. Maybe sometimes you have to disconnect a little bit the cables in your mind. And to be honest, the best thing is not to think too much about anything before the race. We have something that we always do the same way before the race, but I guess all the sportmen do the same thing. Then the rest, I try to keep it for myself and that nobody knows.
Second race of the 3.5 World Series by Renault. Verne again further down the grid than he really should be. Second race of this opening round here in Spain. Tricky first corner that we all know about. Ramos on pole. Oh, and away they go. A terrible start by Ramos. Koyas leads. Costa taking second. Everyone battling for the best line into the first corner. Oh, and we've got debris in the air. Here we go again.
In the second qualifying, I was 14th, and I came back in the race 7th. And in the end of the weekend, we can say that I was quite good at saving a little bit this, scoring some points. And all the points are really important in this kind of championship, which is a long one. And for sure, in the end of the season, I will need these points. The season is looking good. The target in the end is to win the championship.
I think this is a very competitive year, but with the result of this weekend, you know, this is a very tough track. It's not our strongest track, but I think, you know, we managed to come out the other side of it. Not probably as well as we wanted, but you know, we've managed to score points and put ourselves in a reasonable position. It's very important with, you know, the team atmosphere that everybody does, you know, their little bit and a little bit extra, you know, so that it keeps everybody happy. You know, it shows that no one person is better than the other person, so, you know, we move along as a team, you know, and it's always a lot easier when everybody is happy.
Maybe everything is quite good, but everything must be perfect, and it's pretty hard to have something perfect, so every point I have to work on it. Just even if it's good, just to improve and be even better, so For sure, I hope to be in F1 and wear the French colors at the highest level, and that French people can be proud of a driver. So yeah, I want to be in F1. I will push and will do everything for this.
Since I was 3, I started watching Formula 1 races in the sofa with my father, and suddenly at 7 years old I went to a karting indoor, tried for 4 years, and suddenly I said to my dad, okay, this is my dream, I want to fight for it, and please let me go into a professional kart.
I think any form of seat time in Formula 1 is important, and it's quite rare these days. So yeah, like I said, today it's although there's a bit of waiting around, each time I do go in the car, it is something special, and you know, I'm getting more familiar with the circumstances and my surroundings. So yeah, I try and learn from it.
The Formula 1 drivers, they're not there just for a case, you know, they're all fast, they're all fitted, they're all the best drivers in the world, you know, and this is my goal, to become one of them. On the Sunday it went really a lot better, because I got 3rd place in qualifying. The start went all right. Well, there was a lot of confusion anyway, but I finished first lap on the 5th place, where I was starting from. And then I did a little bit risky move on the last corner and flat spots my tires. And every lap it was getting worse and worse. But I finished racing on 5th place, some important points. The championship is long, and I can't really wait for the next race.
I want to continue learning, continue improving as a driver. But then race 2, I was P2 with a few flat spots in the tire that couldn't let me go faster, but you know, great weekend to start the season, P1 in the championship, what else can I ask for, you know? I finished quite happy with the team, they did a great job, and I have to thank them all, because it wasn't easy at all. So we need to keep pushing, and I think the team and me are capable of continuing this line.
I was prepared for a bit of the frustration, but you know, I was fine. You know, of course, watching the others, I wanted to be out there racing. It made me more hungry to make it all work, so that one day I am on the grid and I am racing.
Definitely, it will be more difficult for Daniel now that he's missed the first race. But on the other side, what an opportunity to be driving in the Toro Rosso car at a Formula 1 weekend. I mean, that's the perfect opportunity to show what he can do. So on one hand, it's not so good for the Formula Renault, but on the other hand, it's great that he's driving in a Formula 1 car. So.
It was nice to know that Formula 1 was taking priority, but it was for me as well a bit disappointing. I couldn't take part in the Renault World Series in Aragon and the first race.
Well, the race in Motorland wasn't the best weekend for sure. There were still plenty of races. I knew some beginning of seasons even harder than this one. So everything can happen in the championship. It's still really early.
Oh well, it would just make me work harder for the rest of the championship, and it's put me on a bit of the back foot. But I'm sure we can overcome that, and hopefully next weekend in Spa I can really get out there and start on high.